Thing is, okay. I'm gonna be focusing on a video by a certain user by the name of, well, he says his name is Moma45, it says 45 Moma, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go by how he says it then, Moma45. And really, it's not just him. I've heard these complaints a lot, which is why I'm deciding to actually address this. It's just that his video actually contains them all. I usually hear them separately, one or two of these things separately. So, to see them all in one video made it a lot more convenient for me because it serves as a better reference. I can, you know, cover these all a lot easier now. Basically, it's about the concept of the Majin Buu saga and how there's all this stuff wrong with it, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not gonna deny that there's some wrong with the anime. The anime, frankly, kind of monkeyed with it too much. They really drug things out. I kid you not, probably about 60% of everything involving Majin Buu is filler. And it's frankly handled a lot better in the manga. It's actually a little bit darker in the manga. Majin Buu is actually a bit more freaky, a bit more frightening, and to be honest, all in all, I do kind of like it a little bit better. Actually, a lot better, and I think it's better done there. That would be my opinion, though. But what we're going to be talking about is the stuff that he thinks is wrong in both the anime and the manga. So, let's get going on this, shall we? First of all, one of the things mentioned is how, the Cell Saga and how everything was just supposed to end there. Goku said he was going to be gone. It was all going to fall on Gohan. It should have ended there, or if it kept going, it should have gone to Gohan. Well, excuse me, it was actually not going to end there. See, well, by the time how do I put this? The chapter where Goku had just decided to stay gone was published, Akira Toriyama was already drawing stuff for the Buu Saga. See, what you gotta realize is that when it comes to manga and comics and comic strips and everything, these things are done quite a bit in advance and just, kind of, laid out sequentially. The only thing that there was between Cell and Buu was a 1 week gap, and the only reason that 1 week gap was there was because it was a holiday, and so there wasn't an issue for that week, as it was a weekly series. So, yeah. But moving on, it was going to continue, and it was going to continue with Gohan as the protagonist, yes. Now, to be honest, Akira Toriyama, and there's some irony here, was sort of shoved into that, I shouldn't say shoved, but kind of pressured into that by his editors, by some of the fans. They wanted to see it. And there's irony there, because at the same time, you got Gohan, who this whole time is kind of, contrary to his character and contrary to what he wants, being kind of pushed into, all this. The thing about Gohan is that Gohan does not like to fight. He does not like to hurt people unless he absolutely, positively has to, and even then, it's hard for him. Unless he completely gives into his temper, in which case it scares him because it comes to him way too easily. Which is something that was actually supposed to be taught in the Cell Saga that apparently a lot of people slipped up and missed. But, it's in there. And so, he did at first try to make it Gohan. He did try to bring Goku back for a while. See, Goku was also always supposed to come back, if only just to come back. That had been planned for quite a while, and it had been pre-established in Dragon Ball that Baba is allowed, every so often to bring someone back to fight for her. And this time, instead of holding her own tournament, she chose to enter her fighter in the Tenkaichi Budokai, the World Martial Arts Tournament. And Well, there's nothing BS about it. It's pre-established. It's happened in the past. It's how Goku saw his grandpa again in, Dragon Ball. So I'm not sure why that's a complaint. But, oh, there it is. Um, Now, here's another thing. Gohan. Well, see, it's something also that's there. How do I say this? One thing that Akira Toriyama realized as he was writing is that trying to keep Gohan in personality, in character, and trying to make him a hero was proving increasingly difficult. Very awkward, very hard to manage, hard to handle, because Gohan, ultimately he decided that Gohan was in fact not suited for the role. It was something that he had always been being pushed toward as a kid. He did not want it. It was not something that came naturally to him like it did to Goku, like it did to, the others. Gohan has a very gentle nature by default. So, I mean, I don't even want to say necessarily gentle, because Goku arguably has that too when he wants to be. It's a peaceful nature. It is a nature that does not like to hurt people. It doesn't like to fight. It doesn't like, he doesn't like fighting. He doesn't like hurting people. And in a way, it's partially because he's afraid of his own temper. When he does lose it, when he does snap, it's scary. So there's that he has to deal with. And so ultimately, Akira Toriyama decided, well, he's not really suited for this. So he had to bring Goku back. Otherwise, he'd have to shift it onto somebody who was never in any way, shape, or form lined up to get it. So, and deal with how awkward that would have been. So yeah, he brought Goku back. Now, a lot of people think that it's BS how Goku wins with a spirit bomb. They say that, yeah, I know everybody contributed to it, but it's the fact that he did it. He's the only one who knows it. I really don't know what you expect. The thing about Majin Buu is that no single being was capable of killing him. He's not a mortal being. He's a demon. Okay? The guy can regenerate from freaking smoke. Alright? Majin Buu cannot be just, wiped out. The only time they ever had a chance at doing it was as he absorbed people, because when he was absorbing them, he was tying himself more to the mortal realm. He was becoming more mortal himself, more physical, and less of a spiritual being. And which is why Vegito did in fact have a chance to kill him. There's just one problem, and the reason that he didn't is, see, the thing is, again, in the anime, or at least in the dub, they make it look like, him getting absorbed was a complete accident, and, in the manga, they made it very clear that his attitude, his seriously weird attitude, was all a bluff. And he was being serious the entire time. Also, little known fact, he actually went Super Saiyan 2, not Super Saiyan. And did so right off the bat. But, yeah, he was planning the whole time to go in there and get them out, to, fight, or before he finished him off. He was going to try to finish him off after that if he could, simply because you have the little problem of the Dragon Balls, and would they be able to wish them back? Because for all intents and purposes, they were a part of Buu now. So would they be able to wish Gohan back? Would they be able to wish Goten and Trunks back? Would they be able to? Probably not Piccolo, because he'd already been wished back once. But the boys. So yeah, as a calculated risk, he decided he was going to try to take them out and finish off Buu, and that didn't work out too well. But in the end, you had to resort to the Spirit Bomb. It was the collective energy of the entire world's population, their Genki, their life energy, which is so much more powerful than regular Ki even. And it was literally as much as they could spare without keeling over. and some of them were passing out in the streets, in fact. And so when they had this massive amount of energy, and and it's something that no one was capable of producing by themselves. Impossible. That's what it took to kill this demon, which is what he is. He is a demon. And, they did what they had to do to kill him. And yes, Goku's the one who threw it. Goku's the one who pushed it, but that's because he's the only one who knew the technique. Would you be happier if someone who couldn't possibly have known the technique did it? Would you be happier if someone magically learned the technique that took Goku months to learn? In fact, there's only one other person who even demonstrated the capability of handling the technique. Aside from King Kai, who you'd have to assume could, because, he invented it. But, there are only two other beings that you see in the series who are capable of handling and manipulating that kind of energy. In that great of amount, too. So, I'm not sure why that's a complaint. I'm honestly not. It's not as if Goku beat them all in his onesie either. Goku got his butt kicked. Vegeta got his butt kicked. Gohan got his butt kicked. All of them did. So I'm not seeing what the issue is here. It's hardly, unfair. Anyway, another one that he complains about is how, everyone's death is for nothing. Goku dies to protect humanity and everything in the Cell Saga, and then he comes back. That one I'm not quite getting. I haven't really heard that one so much, but that's one that he mentions. But the one that I do hear a lot is, Vegeta dies trying to protect his family, but then Buu comes right back, and it's like, that's just wrong. Okay, well, let me lay this down for you. Vegeta gave his life for his family as a means of atonement for what he had just done. He had unleashed that monster. And his complete and utter desperation to fight Goku, to get his birthright back, to get what he felt was his honor back. See, when Goku had died, we're going to get into this in more detail, later. But, when Goku had died, he figured it was gone. His chance was gone. Then when he comes back, but it's only from the day, but he's going to fight him in the tournament, so he figures finally he'll be able to. And then, only to find out, this whole Buu stuff starts up, and it's cutting into the day, and Goku's only there for the day, and he knows it, and it's making him angry, because he knows that Goku's going to have to go back soon, and he's worried that he's not going to have a chance to fight. So, he actually was willing to pretty much sell his soul for the opportunity to get, the power and force Goku to fight him. That's, and so, and what he did there, murdering a few hundred people, or more, just to get him angry enough to fight him. He felt it was something he had to atone for. Unleashing that monster, something he felt he had to atone for. So yes, he did give his life to try to stop it, and that was still a very noble, very valiant thing. And Majin Buu came back, and people got angry, and you're supposed to. Vegeta just did all that, and yes, it's sad that he did it, and it's touching, and it's emotional, but that's why it's even more so when Buu comes back. Because even though he had given his all, it still wasn't enough. That's the thing about this arc. This arc is quite a bit more dark than before. It tried to instill this sense of utter hopelessness. The fact that everything that they were doing, everything that they were trying, it just wasn't enough. It couldn't kill it. It couldn't hurt it. That was part of it. And the fact that, I didn't hear anyone complaining when Goku died. Okay? Now, this is something I want to go right back to right now. Goku died in the Cell Saga, right? The Cell games. Why weren't you complaining then? And here's why I say that. See, he died trying to protect everybody, trying to save the Earth from Cell when he went kaboom. Cell came right back. Came back and came back stronger, in fact. Why weren't you throwing a fit then? Why then didn't it matter that Goku had just died for nothing? In fact, Cell comes back, kills Trunks right away, almost kills Vegeta until Gohan got in the way, pretty much crippled his left arm for a while. But why weren't you complaining then? Why weren't you upset about Goku dying for nothing? And Cell came back. Why? Because, oh, it's dramatic. Now they can try to event. Well, that's what happened with Vegeta, too. Only it's a bit more drawn out. It doesn't happen right away, but it's one of the motivations for Trunks to fight. You know? It's... seriously. I really don't understand why it was okay in this instance, and then so horrible in this one. I don't get that. Now we're going to address the complaint that I actually haven't heard quite as frequently, but when I do hear it, the people who state this are so adamant about it, that there was absolutely no character development whatsoever in the Buu Saga. Really. Let's see here. Vegeta, so desperate to win back his birthright that he felt was stolen from him when he was forced to beg someone that he considered lower than trash to do the one thing that he could not do and avenge the betrayal of their people. You know, he gets pushed to the desperation of trying to win that back so badly that he's willing to go to all these lengths to do it. Realizes what he has done to his family, tries to make amends for it, even after his death, even though he went straight to hell and came back. When it came time to restore everybody, he made certain that the wish to bring them back would include the people that he had killed at that tournament. He was still upset about it, still trying to make amends for it. It genuinely troubled him right down to his soul. It was, you know, there's development there. I mean, the guy changed. When it comes to, let's see here, Gohan. You watch Gohan grow up. You watch Gohan try to fill his father's shoes, and struggle. And I do mean struggle. You know, he has. You know, his mom sends him to finish up school in high school. You know, he meets a girl there. There's quite a bit of development for him. Gee, let's see who else. Let's see here. You have Goku. Goku coming back 7 years later to see how much everything's changed, everything that he's missed, which is an emotional moment for him. Coming back to see his wife again and to find out that he does in fact have another child. He left a pregnant wife. Yeah. Let's see what else here. You know, trying to stay out of it as much as possible, only lend a hand, until he's kind of pulled into things. Realizing that, you know, Gohan wasn't meant for this. This isn't what Gohan wants. This isn't what he was supposed to do. This was his duty and his duty alone. And he had to step in and fill it, and even then it was almost too late. In fact, in a way it was. See, this is something else that I'm going to say for another video, but yeah, what happened with Buu was unlike anything that had ever happened in the story before. Let's see here, what else? Well, you got, you know, you see how Trunks has grown up differently now that he's not growing up in a future where humanity's been slaughtered and killer robots are running around. You get to see Goten and what he's like, very much like his father as a child. You get to see Krillin's family. You know, you find out he got married, he had a family. See how he interacts with them. There's a ton of development in this story. A lot. In fact, in a way, it actually finally firmly rounded out the characters in the way they needed to be rounded out. Vegeta, Gohan, Goku, you know. Goku, contrary to popular belief, was not a static character. He does change. And then you have, you know, to be honest, these are the chief complaints. But it's just that, the whole Boo thing, it really doesn't hold up in terms of the criticism for it. There's development quite a bit. There's actually a very interesting plot line with a villain unlike anything that we had seen yet. Not some kind of killer alien, or anything like that. It was an actual literal demon. In a way, it kind of reached back to the show's roots a little bit, pulled some more stuff from Dragon Ball. For example, Baba being able to call back, a fighter for a tournament. Babidi being a wizard, and there's magic involved very heavily. Yeah, kind of like used to be in Dragon Ball. There was magic there too. In a way, I found it very interesting and unique if only for that. It's the fact that it's Dragon Ball Z, and it does acknowledge that it's still Dragon Ball Z, but it still, kind of went back and did recapture a little bit of the old Dragon Ball, which is one reason why I do love it. And it rounded out the characters very neatly. It was a really good story, and the ending, in terms of how they beat Majin Buu, was just amazing. It was, because, again, nobody by themselves beat him. It took everyone. Every single person had to beat Majin Buu. There's a lot of allegorical implications there too, but I'm not gonna dig into the philosophical aspects that may or may not exist in this series. That's a whole nother topic, but it's there. The fact that this is actually a very good part of the series. It's there's character development, there's a good storyline, there's action, there's pretty much everything that you could ask for is in this series. The only reason that I can see people don't like it is because it didn't turn out the way they seem to prefer. I'm sorry if that bothers you so much. But, it turned out fine. It turned out good, in fact. So, well, I guess there you have it for now. I do have some other videos planned for the not-too-distant future, I hope, including, well, I'm going to be addressing the issue of, well, you know what, I'm going to keep it a surprise. Yes. It is Dragon Ball related yet again, but, again, we're going to save that for another day. In the meantime, that's it for now. I'm going to be awaiting some very interesting and probably angry comments down below, and I will catch you later. See ya.